and welcome to the Big Bear Homestead. Today is episode number 10 in our Predator Control on the Homestead series. So today, we're talking about bears. That's right, homesteaders. Today, we're talking about bears. Big bears, little bears, fuzzy bears, not this bear. We're just going to talk about the bears. So what is a bear? A bear is a mammal that's just about everywhere on this planet. Bears range in size from the sun bear, which is about 150 pounds, to the large polar bear, which ranges right around 1,500 pounds. Now, the two bears that we're going to focus on today is the brown bear and the black bear, because those are the two bears that you're most likely going to have an encounter with living here in the lower 48 of the continental United States. So, now that we know which bears we're going to be talking about, what do they eat? Okay, so we're talking about the brown bear and the black bear. So what do these guys eat? Well, both the brown bear and the black bear are what you call omnivores, meaning they'll eat just about anything. Now, your black bear, now let me back up for a second. The black bear and the brown bear, their diets are similar with just a little bit of differences. For example, the black bear, he tends to stay more closely with berries, nuts, fruits, veg, plants, and he'll occasionally eat some meat, but it'll be the smaller ones like your chickens, rabbits, goats, sheep, stuff along that line. Now your brown bear, which the grizzly bear is part of the brown bear family, he is mostly a carnivore. He'll every now and then graze on the fruits and berries and veg and stuff like that. But the brown bear, he'll not only go after the small livestock, but he will also upgrade and go after the larger livestock. So that means your horses, donkeys, cattle, all those are at risk. So now we know what the brown bear and the black bear will eat. How do we know if we got them? Okay, so we know what the bears eat, whether it's a brown bear or a black bear. Now, how do we know if we got them? Well, if you're talking about your smaller livestock, well, they just won't be there. They'll be gone. But if they're in a coop or something, there's going to be a lot of damage. You should see claw marks, stuff. Look around for tracks. This is what bear tracks look like. Okay? Now, you can also look around and look for scat. Scat is another tattletale sign of the animal. And this is what bear scat looks like. Okay? Take these same examples and now let's apply it to larger livestock. Let's say you lost a cow or a horse or something. There's going to be a tremendous amount of carnage to your livestock that's laying there dead on the ground. Bears eat sporadically on the carcass. So you'll be looking at your carcass and there may be a chunk missing over here or a chunk missing over there. And bears also like to, once they attack, they like to hold their prey down. So look for puncture marks from their claws or where the bear has clawed down your livestock. You might even have an indentation of the bear print there on your animal. And again, look around for the tracks and the scat. More than likely, they're going to be there. So now we know that we're dealing with a bear. Now, what are we going to do about it? Okay, so we know we've got a bear. So let's talk deterrence. And the reason why let's talk deterrence is the less reasons that we give bears to be around, the less likely they are to come around. Bears are also one of the few predators that you'll have more success with deterrence than you would with trapping and hunting. So let's talk deterrence. Well, the very first thing that you can get is a large, loud farm dog. Preferably one that works, not like mine. Apollo, come here. He plays too much, don't you? But get you a large farm dog that'll bark and be loud and be playful and would you stop? And all that kind of mess because the bear's not going to want to come around. 2, you can try electric fencing. You can try motion activated sprinklers. You can try better fencing, but you know, if a bear wants to get in, he'll either climb under it or mash it down. But you want to limit the reasons why he's coming there. So try some bear-proof trash cans to store your feed and stuff like that in. Protect your livestock with the electric fencing, motion activated lights, sprinklers, stuff like that that's going to scare them. So let's say you do all of this and now you still got a stubborn bear. What can you do? Okay, so we have a stubborn bear. He just won't leave. This is the part where it gets hard. You have to do a little bit of investigating on your own. You got to check your own state laws. Is it even legal for you to trap or hunt the bear? The best thing to do is call your state Department Natural Resources. Find out what the regulations are, if you're allowed to trap the bear or if you're allowed to shoot the bear. You know, you got to ask them first, because Lord knows if you do something that's against the law, trust me, somebody's going to tell on you, and then you're just going to be in a world of trouble. Now, when it comes to trapping, this is going to get where it's going to get expensive, because I'm going to tell you, the best thing to do is to hire a nuisance bear trapper. They have all the equipment, they have all the traps, and they've got the experience. You know, back in the day, when you think of bear trapping, you think of that humongous foothold trap that has the teeth on it and it comes up and slams it. You know, some of those traps are still in existence, minus the teeth for the most part. But they're a very heavy-duty trap. You know, you got to stand on them to set them. They're really aggravating, and then you have to get it bedded and set correctly. And that's just a really pain in the keister. Here in Georgia, I'm not even allowed to talk about it, pretty much. The laws are so strict when it comes to bear trapping. I mean, it's not that extreme. Obviously, I'm talking about it right now. But you can't even own a bear trap unless it's one that's antiqued and it is made to where it's non-functional. Now, if it's bear season, as long as you have the appropriate hunting license with your big game tags or stickers or whatever it is that your state requires, hunt them. Bear meat is tasty. It's great. But in some parts of the country, bears are somewhat protected. See what I mean about the dog? So your Department of Natural Resources, they're going to probably want to come out and tranquilize the bear and relocate the bear. You may get the green light if they say, hey, if it's killing your livestock, take it out, and they'll give you a permit to shoot it. So it really all depends on your state. So now that we know that we've got a stubborn bear, we know what we got to do. Is there anything next? All right, well, that does it for episode 10 in the Predator Control on the Homestead series about bears. With bears, we kind of have our hands tied as homesteaders. Unless your state is very lenient, you do usually have to get your state Department of Natural Resources involved when you have a nuisance bear. So I hope this helped you guys out. Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.bigbearhomestead.com. Don't forget to come over to Facebook, give us the old like. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Now, I want to remind you guys, we have live shows every Monday and Saturday, part of the Homestead Network. Now, I want to take a second, since I mentioned the Homestead Network. I want to invite you guys to go to thehomesteadnetwork.com. That's thehomesteadnetwork.com. And when you go there, click on the tab that says Showtimes. There, you will be able to see a list of all the other amazing YouTube channels that are a part of the Homestead Network. Not only that, you will also be able to see what day and time their live shows are. And if you're new to some of those channels, all you have to do right there on that page is hover over their name and click on it, and it'll take you right to their channel so you can watch some of their videos to see if that's going to be a channel that you want to check out during their live show. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, while you're there on the homesteadnetwork.com, if you could go into that upper right-hand corner and leave us your email address. The reason why we're asking for this is in case we have a show change, time slot change, or if we add a new channel to the lineup, we want to notify you guys so that way you don't miss any of these amazing shows that are part of the Homestead Network. But that's enough solicitation. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, hey, do me a favor. Give me the old thumbs up and share it. Especially if you know somebody that may be having trouble with some nuisance wildlife bears. Also, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. All we ask is that you be courteous of others. And if this is your first time to the Big Bear channel and you're liking what you see and you want to become part of the Big Bear family, hey, slide right on over here and hit that subscribe button. But here's the new kick that YouTube has put out there for us. We got to take it one step further. If you want to get notifications to be notified when we go live, or when we put out a new video in maybe our prepping series or our sustainable living series or our home maintenance series or another predator control, you got to hit that gray bell that's right there by that subscribe button and tell YouTube you want to be notified when we go live or we put out a new video. Well, that's it for this week with predator control on the homestead. Please join us next week when we're going to be talking about squirrels. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead, and like always, have a nice day.